Greetings my beautiful hackers, I'm so glad and I'm so happy to see you, especially in this video. I have made a great video just right here for you, because you have made great count of subscribers on views and I'm so happy. My heart is happy, my mask too, as you can see. And I have made a great surprise, but it will be about end of this video. Okay, I have sent Ubuntu server. Because we are going to actually know a big step in the Nmap. It will be not about metasploitable, as you can see, because we are going to actually dodge the firewall in the defensive system. Here we go, uncomplicated firewall running on the Ubuntu server. So the main actor of defensive system in our victim machines. It will be Ubuntu server. And we have got our Kali. So we are going to actually know how to dodge, how to avoid firewalls, how to avoid being seen by the blue team of the victim system, and we are going to actually observe the behavior while we are using Nmap. So let's get to work. First of all, we are going to actually ping if we have already the connection between two machines. It's so important. And when we have got the return, we are going to type Nmap with the victim's IP. Okay, Nmap is starting and we have got some kind of system and service running on the victim's machine, as you can see just right here. We have got the perfect return of the services that are running. FTP, SSH, Telnet, HTTP and HTTPS, so basics and so mainly used by the all servers. Never mind if there's a web server, there's a victim machine, most of the services are actually running on the real world machines. And we are going to meet our first step. Okay, the basic syntax that are most used by beginner hackers, and this step is actually learning at the beginning of the Nmap, like on the basic courses, etc, etc. It's SS. SS is the self scan. They're trying to make the scan as quiet as possible, not to being so aggressive, just quiet scan of the whole victim system. And we are going to actually scan this. It will be took about more, like here are 80 seconds perhaps, and in these steps there are 18 seconds. We are going to mainly observe the behavior and try to use this all commands. First was the SS. Second, I have talked about this earlier. It will be about adding the timing. The timing is from 1 to 5 and it's managing timing in the Nmap. We are going to set how much time it will take about scanning. From 5 to 1. 1 is the slowest without rushing, etc, etc, and 5 it will be about spinning the whole scan. We are going to use mainly 4 because 4 is default in the Nmap. When you have more time, it's up to you how much time you have on scan. 4 it's speed but not so speedy, but 3 it's not slow nor rush, just perfect. Okay, we have same result, quite longer, but it will be worth. And the third step. Okay, the third step we are going to delay this command is about F. F is the fragmentation of the all packages that are sent to the victim system to scan and have got the return. Nmap is default scanning first 1000 ports to check which one are open, the mainly ports that are mainly used, and F is performing the fragmentation to just make analysis of the packets quite harder to the blue team or firewall, for example. So this all option costs nothing, but it's worth. And T, right now it's most useful, because when you are scanning, for example, to script vol, for example, to look for vulnerabilities, you will find it useful when you have got to just make scan so fast, and when you want to use T5, for example, to make scan as fast as possible. And this was the basic. We'll make our things harder, because we are going to actually play with the ports. So first is the source port. It's about dodging ports that you have just sent packets to. I will, for example, use 5.3, and this is make firewalls and blue team so dumber to just look from which port the scan is coming, because we are now going to change our source of scan. When you, for example, try to mask into, for example, web server, you can send from port 80, for example. I will show you. 8. We are sending now from the HTTP port to our destination. You got me. So we are going to stop. You can see that it will take a little bit longer, but not so long. But that's not all. Source port is once. Second is spoofing. The blue team and the firewalls know exactly from which MAC this scan comes. So we are going to spoof our MAC to, for example, stay hide. When you just like trying to perform a scan to the component, big company that might track you, for example, you can just spoof MAC and 0. Because 0, we have just change our source MAC. Okay, PN, when we're blocking ping prods, try PN, is the first troubleshooting in Nmap. And we have scan all, but this firewall won't let us in. You can see that with spoofed MAC firewalls, first time blocked our scan from the destination, so our Ubuntu server. It's the first time that we have just been blocked. You can use fragmentation or just SS. For example, in scan, you can use, for example, scan delay. When you use something malicious and something that is harming system, like for example script vuln that I have shown, you can use scan delay and use in seconds. And we are going to actually set the delay of our scan. You can see, okay, it's running with the delay, so it will be so longer, and we are going to wait.
A few moments later.
It will take about decades to scan. Okay, it's about 1% done with the 45 seconds. You can see it will take an hour, but scan, it's processing, so the firewall has just let our scan in. We have got success. And you can see that scan delay actually works. It's not that like empty comments in Nmap. Comments is actually doing something, and we can try, for example, spoofing MAC, and it's actually processing through our scan, but it's not work. But scan will take longer, and Nmap has just tried to break through our firewall. So we have got nearly success. And we can adjust for a still fair and just more rating scanning with the Nmap. And we can set the value of, for example, 3. And you can see Nmap is working. It hasn't got started yet. We are going to wait. We can press enter to check if scan is processing yet. Yeah, it's processing, but so slower, so we are going to one more time stop. We have just adjust rating of our scan. It's the next step that it's so important with Nmap. And next, when it comes to package, we are going to set the fragmentation and data length. Data and length. And for example, 50. My bad. Okay, it's starting. We have just of maximum length of the data that is sent by Nmap, and it's too trying to dodge the firewall and make firewall dumber than always during the scan. Okay, and it's scanned in the default time, so 80 seconds, and everything has just returned with the fragmentation and data length. By the side of the blue teamer, the scan is more complicated than our normal scan, just like by this, and enter. Remember that I might see dump during the scan, and this scan are not magic, not showing that here comes, for example, without this 3, so only FTP is viewing, or the seconds like 30 seconds. This scan and this command are not magic as always, but magic is performing on the wire actually. You have to remember that this command are not magic, but it's performing on the wire. When the blue teamer see instead of this scan, he has to think, and the black hat, so red teamer, it's making this scan so harder to being seen and so less aggressive from the defender side. So remember that these commands are useful but not seen as a magic commands. Remember this. And we are going to actually meet the TTL. Is the timing how much time the packets will be alive. So for Windows it will be 1 to 8, it's processing, and for the Linux, so our machine, it will be 64. So we are going to set our TTL, and it's next step that are making firewalls dumber than always. We are going to cover as for example Windows or Linux, cover our Nmap and cover our scan. Remember this, guys. It took about 1 second longer, but we have got the return. We are going to try with 1 to 8, so Windows instead of Linux, and it scanned a little bit longer, but it has just scanned. And the last step is about decoying. We are going to actually, like in CSGO, throw a decoy on the victim's machine. We have got to set the random and 10. So Nmap will generate random IP addresses to just dodge and make like crazy the defensive side of the victim machines. Okay, this scan has just passed. Oh, everything is going on. So it will be about hiding, but we are going to try complicate our scan. So we are going to use the decoy, stealth scan, fragmentation, and for example, max rate with the 5, and we are going to meet the system version and operative system. And we are going to set the time 4. And we are going to wait now. We have just cooked the whole syntax, taken just in 5 seconds from head, and we are going to wait. I regret doing this, seriously. Look at slow this comes. Look, it has just a minute left from the beginning of this scan and about 1% done, and hour remaining. And here came magic. You can see that when I press enter Nmap with the only IP, SVO and managing timing, it will take about, let's see, it will take about 1 minute. When we have got all magic from dodging and from fragmentation, max rating, etc., it will take about an hour with a half. Everything has just returned. Here, I had to wait an hour, like you can see, to just take my return from back. Okay, hacker. This was all, but do not dare to escape yet. And a little bit surprise. When you want to stop the Nmap series, I will end this, but I can do this late. I have created just this plaything. You can see the Kalinet Hunter is running on this phone, and it's hacking plaything, and Nmap can also stand on this phone. And this phone is the attribute of all hackers that is playing on the real world. So when you want me to show this phone, just let me know in the comments. And I do not really recommend use any of these steps in the real world. Nmap comes with the great responsibility of using. When you want to use this for an illegal action, for example, and you do not mask yourself, you might have serious troubles. So be aware of this and do not really use this in illegal action. This was all, hacker. May Jesus Christ bless you. And remember to subscribe, like and share some good comment. You have made great count and I'm so thankful for this, and I will continue the Nmap series just for you. And pretty thanks, hackers. See you back in the next video. Take care.